Hey, good morning. Oh, it's early, dark, it's wet. I'm in the forest, walking Pepper. My toes are wet, socks are wet, coming through the top of my shoes. It has actually nothing to do with, well, it kind of does, with what I wanted to say. But I mean, if you know me, you know I have a lot of books, and basically, I try to encompass a single idea in one book, and that's why often I have more books and not just one big book. So I like that. I like that I can get one idea across in a book. So I was just listening to a podcast here. I had taken Luca to school this morning because it's really raining quite a bit, and poor guy, and it's dark and it's cold and it's December and it's raining all the way to school. So I took him to school, and then I brought Pepper, and now we're in the woods. Pepper does not mind the rain, and part of my thought is that here I am. I am in the rain. I am outside. Yes, I'm wet. Yes, I have a jacket on, but I'm doing it anyway. And it brought me to which book. I mean, it might be Dare. I dare to do this, but I think it's more about decide. Like, I have just recently decided to host a podcast called The Nonfiction Author Beyond the Book. So it's about being more than just an author, it's about having other facets to your brand, other weapons in your arsenal than just a book. This is especially if you're a nonfiction author. I mean, podcasts and videos and courses and workshops and in person and coaching and whatever else there might be, right? So beyond the book. And the fact that I decided I'm going to do this, I'm going to do 52 episodes, 1 year, one a week, 1 year, and I'm going to see what happens. And I just, also, the same podcast I just listened to, they talked about how all teachers need to be great students. And one reason I'm doing it is because I want to learn more about Beyond the Book, about being a nonfiction author plus. And for me, the best way to learn is actually to teach. Because sure, I mean, there are people ahead of me, but you know what? There's a lot of people behind me, a lot of people who'd love to know the stuff I know. And then I can reach out to the people above me and they can learn from me. But I'm guiding this to this example to give you the tip of my morning, which is decide. And yes, I have a book called Decide. And I see it as it's the top of the mountain. In fact, I was thinking recently, so I have a collection of 9 books. Some are out, most are out next year, 2020. And I think this decide might be the tipping point, might be the middle. Because after you make the decision, it's your mindset shifts. And it's no longer a question of, will I do this thing if this happens? Maybe that, maybe this. That's all done and taken care of. And now we're to the point of sort of how or when, now I'm going to do this thing. How am I going to achieve it? Now I'm going to do this thing. When will it happen? And it's more of, again, think of the mountain and the downhill. It's more of the snowball or guiding this inner power of the snowball, right? Gravity and the growing snowball gaining in strength and weight and power and energy going down the hill. And you kind of, in some ways, you just have to hold on, hold on and guide it the right way because the power is now going in the right direction. So that's how I see decide. And by the way, in case you haven't noticed, I often do think sort of on the fly, and that's what I'm doing right now as well, is I'm sort of convincing myself that decide might be the middle point, or at least like on a line graph, which is how I see many things, it's the top point. And it's not create. I thought about that recently. You can create and not have decided yet. I think create is more a discovery phase, whereas decide's kind of the hardest book. It's the hey, we're gonna do this thing. I've decided. I'm in Spark. I'm gonna write the book. I'm gonna do it in February, and then it's done. The hard part of your journey is done. mean, imagine that. Think of stuff you're struggling with and stuff you've been hemming and hawing about for months, if not years. And once you decide, and it's an internal decision, and it has nothing to do with external factors. Oh, but I don't have time in my job. Oh, but my child is left-handed. Oh, but my tea isn't hot. It's yeah. Sorry, I don't want to go for all that. It's an internal decision, and those are the hardest ones because they're real. And then the best part, well, like I said, of the good news and the bad news. The good news and the bad news is that you know when you truly decide. You can, yell from the rooftops that I'm gonna do it. But if you know in your heart you're not really gonna do it, then yeah, it's kind of yelling. So, all right, my feet just got colder and wetter. I think I stepped in a big puddle. So I'm gonna head out of the woods. I've done the daring. I've done the deciding. Look, I'm good. All right. Hey, so go dare, go decide, do what you're gonna do, decide you're gonna do it, or not. By the way, sorry. By the way, deciding not to do something is at least as powerful, and then it's off your shoulders, and you're good, and you move on to the next thing, and you decided I'm not gonna do that thing, and that's great, and that's good too. For me personally, I hope you'll continue with Spark. Slight bias. All right, I'm gonna go inside. It's wet. It's cold. Have a good December. We'll talk soon.